About to be underway.
Stefan also has a lot of anti-graveyard cards here. A main deck, extra pay, and 4 surgical extractions.
Jeez.
So I think a game plan of his might be just running Delver decks out of win conditions. Kill a Delver and get it out of your deck. It sounds funny, but I think that he may be able to leave a lot of these threat-light cantrip decks without ways to win the game.
It's a windswept tooth for a forest.
He also has 4 Wastelands plus Loam, so tagging lands and extracting them could be a game plan too.
It is Gimmillar, for those of you keeping track at home. Deathrite Shaman, a very powerful magic card. I do wonder if there's a smallpox incoming, because that would be a beating. Here's a swamp. We have a beating.
Oof.
That's what we have here. Smallpox getting max value. Take care of your creature, take care of your land, make you discard.
And all this box deck is trying to do is just squeeze the total resources from both players and run a little bit better with nothing in play.
Yep. Creator Behemoth's going to bite the dust. Surgical Extraction will bite the dust over there. Land and creature, of course, you're going to go in the order there. Discard a card. Each player loses life, then discard a card, then sack a creature, then sacrifices a land. Gimmillar left ahead at this point. There is a Surgical Extraction.
Just going after everything.
Yep. Take your Deathrite Shaman. Let's see the grip. It's a Zenith. Reclamation Sage. Elvish Visionary. A Heritage Druid, then 2 copies of Verdant Catacombs.
And this is a nice hand for Lane to have in this matchup. Elvish Visionary is very good against Loampox, and he has a lot of lands to work with, relatively speaking. In this spot, it would not be uncommon for Elves to just have nothing to do.
Mm-hmm. So there go the Deathrite Shamans for good. As you mentioned, main deck Surgical Extractions. Don't see those a lot.
4 of them alongside an extra pay. And like I said, I had to imagine this is part of an overall game plan of either removing every land from someone's deck or removing every win condition.
It is definitely an attrition-based strategy. One we don't see a lot in Legacy, but so far, Stefan is sitting at 4-1 with it. It does seem difficult for a Delver strategy to try to beat.
I would not want to play against this with Delver. Innocent Bloods and Smallpoxes and Surgical Extractions, Wasteland plus Loam. I mean, it's got all the hits.
There's Verdant Catacombs. Gonna sacrifice that. Will Lane. Let's see what land he wants to search up here. Has the opportunity to go for a basic, but I'll go for a Bayou instead. He may be casting a Green Sun Zenith for 0 here to get a Dryad Arbor. There's the potential for that.
Seems good to cash in for mana while you can. This Green Sun Zenith. There's no guarantee you'll be able to do that down the line.
He's going to go with a Heritage Druid instead and just pass the turn back to get to the board. Gimmillar will draw a card. Just copy a Thespian Stage. See, there's Nurborg over there. We'll deploy that. There's an Abrupt Decay, so Heritage Druid's got to leave, pass the turn back. Thomason will draw a copy of Birchlore Rangers. There is a Verdant Catacombs. And sacrifice that, Will Thomason. Time to search up a land yet again.
Now, all of this, attritioning doesn't matter for much unless Stefan can win the game quickly or lock Lane out entirely.
Yeah, because they always have the ability to just kind of draw out of it.
Yeah, if you're not doing anything. We've seen this before. I've seen this Loampox deck get something like Nether Void into play and eventually lose the game because the game went on for 25 more turns and they never found anything to win with.
There's Elvish Visionary. Time to draw a card. And pass the turn back. Gimmillar draws a copy of Verdant Catacombs. Looks like he's got a land-heavy hand right now.
Yeah, not a lot going on.
We'll sacrifice the Verdant Catacombs. Go with Searchin'.
Some weird numbers all over on Stefan's list here. He also has a main deck Curse Scroll that could be good in this matchup if he's able to keep Lane's board in check. +1 Pernicious Deed, +1 Toxic Deluge as his big sweepers.
In for 1. What other fun is Lane going to have on this turn?
I just like to play in these Elvish Visionaries. Stefan's trying to make this game about just raw resource count, just add up the number of cards each player has. And in that sort of game, Elvish Visionary is very powerful.
There's a stage. That's a crop rotation. This has gotten ugly fast.
Oh, this escalated quickly. I thought we were going to play a longer game than this.
I did too.
Remember, elves cannot gain life, nor can they generate flyers.
How did we get here so fast? One crop rotation is all it took.
Dude, Stefan, this deck's not supposed to be able to win quickly.
I think he might just make the 2020 now and make sure nothing goes wrong.
All right, yep.
Yep. And he's going to explain how this works. At the end of the day, he does get a 2020. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Well, your turn. And the crazy thing is that elves can actually win from this position if their draw cooperates. It involves a cradle and a whole bunch of other stuff, but it can happen.
Yeah, not impossible for Lane to win from this spot, but elves cannot kill a creature, cannot generate a flyer, cannot gain life. So he's got to win this turn. There's no way to sort of stem the bleeding.
Let's see what step one is. Step one's a Heritage Druid. That's a good start. Next up, Nettle Sentinel. And the pressure is all of a sudden really on.
Yeah, it seemed like nothing was happening, and Lane was drawing some cards, and things were looking good. And now this happened.
2 green floating. Nettle Sentinel will untap. He's got to get moving now. Birchler Ranger at the ready. And this is how you try to figure out, okay, how good is he at playing elves? Because you got to find out right now.
Yep.
If he knows every single way to go.
He's got to give himself as many draws as possible to get to a Gaia's Cradle.
Yep.
And then things get a little bit easier.
No mana floating now. So here's 3. And it is notable that he didn't use the Nettle Sentinel with Heritage Druid and the other Elvish Visionary before casting that Visionary.
Yeah.
Because now he may have missed out on the potential for some more mana. He's going to cast a Zenith here. See what he wants to go get. He's definitely got something in mind. He's going to go with a Wirewood. That lets him keep going.
It's another look at things. It's another draw.
Yep. And he's got 1 mana floating right now. Hasn't played land yet. Wirewood's going to untap and bring back Elvish Visionary. Up to 4. Down to 2. Untap there, draw a card. Nettle Sentinel.
I think he may have dead-ended.
Yep.
I think he has no way to draw cards at this point. And no big finish, so.
There's the Nettle Sentinel down to 1 mana. Yep, that's a dead end. He's going to pass the turn back. Gimmillar is going to untap, draw, and attack for 20.
He found the play.
He sure did. Stefan Gimmillar is up a game here over Lane Thomason. Lone Pox up a game over Combo L's. All it took was a 20-20.
And that's a new dimension to this deck that I've not seen before.
Yep.
Which is really nice because Pox, if there's one critique of it, it takes it forever to close out a game. And people have time to draw out of all the early disruption. But now being able to just go get Thespian Sage plus Dark Depths, that's a very fast way to win.
Sideboard time. We will start with Combo L's here, where I'm looking at a Mindbreak Trap, a Rest in Peace, Scavenging Ooze, a Numazawa Jite, a Sylvan Library, a Progenitus, a Crows and Grip, a Gaddock Teague, 3 Abrupt Decays, and 4 copies of Cabal Therapy. I like Rest in Peace.
Well, how confident are you that Stefan's really utilizing his graveyard?
Well,
You saw nothing that game to indicate that there's a Loam strategy going. I guess maybe you assume Loam is part of the deck, but there's no giveaway.
I would assume Loam because I saw Smallpox.
Okay.
Though I don't know in how many he's playing.
Okay.
You know, I don't have great information about that. I also like Scavenging Ooze as a result too. And Progenitus is okay. I'm actually not that excited about it though. I'm not really excited about a lot of these cards, honestly.
I was looking at this and I was thinking maybe he should consider just same 60.
Okay.
Or close to it.
Okay.
I don't think there's a lot of upgrades. I mean, Lane can go to Progenitus. It allows him to win from a very low base, but Pox is historically known for having all sorts of edict effects. So Progenitus is not a lock.
Okay.
On the other side here, Stefan with a Maelstrom Pulse, a Golgari Charm, a Vraska the Unseen, a Sadistic Sacrament, an Innocent Blood, a Grafdigger's Cage, a Dread of Night, a Perish, a Hinatorak, a Deathrite Shaman, 3 Vampire Hex Mages, a Dark Depths, and a Curse Totem. The Curse Totem seems awesome in this matchup. All sorts of activated abilities on the other side of the table. I'd bring in the extra Innocent Blood, the Grafdigger's Cage, the Maelstrom Pulse, the Golgari Charm, definitely the Perish. I don't know. A lot to bring in.
There are a lot of options.
A lot of really good cards here for Stefan.
That is for sure.
I would get away from this whole surgical extraction, extirpate, life from the loam thing that Stefan's got going on here. I don't think you can really lock elves out that way. And he's got so many good cards to bring in that I would just want to have removal spells, removal spells, removal spells.
It is time for SCG Game Night here while these players do shuffle up. We've got a brand new token and cards here for November. It's our good buddy, the Worm.
A couple months in, and we have changed the program to now no longer be Wednesday night specific, though you are welcome to run on Wednesdays if you like. Fun and friendly play. Stores, use your discretion to run these events however you want to. The November kit will be the Worm token. Every week you can have players come to your store and play for pins and foils. So if you're interested in getting involved with this program, it's too late to sign up for November, but December, you can still sign up for now, so head over to StarCityGames.com/game night for more information. Stores, you should get on with this program. It's been very well received. And players, if you want to bring it to your store, talk to your store owner today. Star City Games will be happy to help you get these kits sent out to your store.
It's easy, it's fun. Any format, any week, any day. Just play.
Just play. You're doing it anyway.
Might as well get some stuff for playing.
You might as well. It's essentially free. What are we even talking about?
You've already won. Get your worms, get your pins, have some fun.
Come on.
Every week in November.
Get on board.
We need to have a conversation with those who run the show at Star City. Reindeer, November. What's it going to take?
What's it going to take? We missed out on turkeys in November. Reindeer in December would be awesome.
Simple.
I would settle for a snowman.
Yes, Goblin Snowman.
Goblin Snowman.
It's festive. It's in season. I think all of that stuff makes it okay.
Yep. I would settle for a Goblin Ski Patrol even.
Nice. The Rock Jockey.
The Rock Jockey.
I don't think that card's very good.
No, it's not. Most of the goblins are not. Over the history of Magic, we can focus on the lackeys and the ringleaders and the pile drivers of the world. Most of the goblins that have been printed have been big stinkeroos.
It's sad, really. But that's okay. They battle on.
They do. One Perish is nice. I wish there was more of them.
You gotta let them know where they stand.
Back when color hosers were a little bit different than what they print today.
Maybe a little too good.
Yeah.
Maybe just a touch.
I don't know. What if like green breed down's too good? We need to have some safety valves in the format. How about 3 mana kill all green creatures? Okay. Now we don't have to worry about that anymore.
No problem.
All right, well, mono blue might be a factor. How do we make sure that that deck doesn't get under control? I don't know. How about 4 mana destroy all islands at instant speed? It's a little bit different.
An elf token for December is a good idea.
Oh, an elf token is an excellent idea.
It's very smart. Someone hire that man.
Whoever said that, that's a very good idea.
Yep. You work for Star City Games now. Good thoughts.
Congratulations. We expect you in the office on Monday.
Don't be late.
Don't be late. You will get written up.
Down to 6 here for Stefan. We'll see what he can find. Is he happy with the 6? He is. We're underway. Thomason with a Dried Arbor, a slow start. Gimmillar actually has a copy of Wasteland. Could fire away here. Yep. Get that off the table.
Got him. Don't let him have a thing. Whatever the thing is, don't let him have it.
There's a forest. And an Elvish Mystic.
Gotta kill that. That's a thing.
That's true. This is a no thing allowed game.
Yeah.
There's a swamp. That's a curse scroll. I wonder how much damage you've dealt with that thing. Oh,
a lot.
You've got to read it.
Whoa! Someone's a little new to the scene.
I suppose there are people out there who don't know what the Curse Scroll does.
Yep. So tap it in 3, name a card. Opponent chooses a card at random from your hand, reveals it. If the names match, deal 2 to a target. It's very powerful when you have only 1 card in your hand, because then you know. So that's kind of what Stefan's deck is up to. Curse Scroll, back when Pox was a deck extended in like 1998, Curse Scroll was a factor in that deck. 99, something like that.
Curse Scroll was such a good card.
Yep.
Might still be.
I have periodically had it in my sideboard in Burn. You can definitely have too much of it, but 1 copy I've had in my sideboard a fair bit of the time. Adam Prozac also had 1 copy of this card as his Trinket Mage target in all sorts of blue control decks.
Trinket Mage, Adam Prozac's favorite Magic card. See Wooded Foothill, Search of Bayou. The big follow-up is a copy of Quirin Ranger into Heritage Druid.
You know what
Passing
card?
it back.
You know what card would be potent in this game? It's Perish.
Yeah. Gonna sacrifice a fetch land here. Well, Stefan, we'll see what he's gonna search up. Perish would be mighty powerful, yes.
What if red strategies are too good? I don't know. How about 2-mana enchantment? All red spells are 2 more mana.
Is that Warmth?
Chill.
Oh, sorry, Chill. Sorry.
They're all Tempest uncommons,
Yeah,
and they're all
sorry.
so far out of line. It's hilarious. Although I think the green ones they got were just land walkers. They were like a swamp walker and an island walker,
Yeah, I'll show you.
which is not that great against, Perish, let's say.
Get him with an Anaconda.
Because it still dies along with all your other green creatures.
Ah, yes, yes. There's an Abrupt Decay. Clear that thing out of the way. Just gonna pass the turn back. Thomason gonna draw a card. Nice Cradle in hand. Things get a little scary here. There's also a copy of Nettle Sentinel too. That's gonna come down. I think there also might be a Natural Order hiding.
This would be a great game for any of Stefan's sweepers. We know about the Perish. He's got Pernicious Deed, Toxic Deluge.
They'd all be good.
All be good. Golgari Charm.
3 mana. 4. Heritage Druid. Untap. Cradle. Zenith. Well, we're searching for something large.
Is this Big Hooves?
That's Rothar.
Okay.
Big enough. Take a look. We'll do the same.
So this is everything that Lane has here. So if Stefan's able to find a Toxic Deluge or a Perish, Lane is in a ton of trouble, and he's at risk of just getting Curse Scroll locked as well.
I do like the fact that this thing has reach.
Yep. That is sort of a weird out that he had last game. He could have gotten Rorikthar and then gone off the next turn.
Yeah. I have this thing. It can block a flyer. Can you imagine that thing blocking a Dark Depths token?
Well, in Magic, we already have Riverbow is equipped with Bone Splitters. We had to take certain creative luxuries to make the card game work.
Well, I could see a snake carrying a knife. I can see that.
I guess.
In its mouth. That's not hard for me to imagine.
What about Riverbow with Lightning Greaves?
Well,
a snake with some boots.
yeah.
That's a little
tough.
My point is, we already had to take certain liberties with our, suspensions of disbelief to make Magic work.
It's a little tougher to imagine. Looks like it's time to attack here for Thomason. Everybody.
You can remove Soul a Soulless one. They let you do that in Magic.
It's an attack here for 11. Stefan might be locked now. Yeah.
I think it could have been Perish or Bust that turn.
Perish, and then it puts him to 1.
Yeah, so he's got a shot if he has Perish, but he does not. And so game 3 is underway.
And that's where we will be heading here between Elves and Lonefox in just a moment. Rorikthar showing off its power in that game. Great combo hoser.
Yep.
That's what it's there for. Against Storm and a couple other decks. You have to imagine that's actually pretty good in this this Treasure Cruise environment. I'm not entirely sure how a blue-red deck is going to be able to handle that thing.
No, it's an open question.
Seems very difficult.
So we'll see what happens when Stefan finds one of his sweepers. I think he's a huge edge, has a huge edge in the matchup if he's able to.
Let's talk about our 2015 Open Series schedule, shall we?
Yes. We got it announced. Everything's all situated, good to go. You and I were talking about internally. quarter 2. Can't talk about that just yet, but we have
Secret.
We have the quarter 1 schedule ready to go. Starting off in Columbus, heading to Philadelphia. We have a weekend off, and then DC and Indianapolis to close out January. Then we start heading over to some warmer climates. The Open Series makes its debut in Houston, February 14th and 15th. Remember, the weekend prior to that is regional championships, so make sure to stay tuned for that for more information. Then LA, the 21st and 22nd, Baltimore the following weekend, Grand Prix Miami, which will be standard, March 6th and 8th. Then we round out with Dallas, and the end of March, the Season 1 Invitational in Richmond, Virginia.
Looking forward to all of those dates, especially our first time in Houston, Texas. That's going to be a lot of fun. Big fan of the city of Houston.
2 trips to Texas in Q1. Hopefully your allergies can hold up.
Unlikely.
Unlikely.
Unlikely. That place hates me.
Yes, it's tough doing the shows with you because I have so much sympathy for how much pain you are in during the show.
I don't know what it is. Texas just not, me and Texas just don't get along. Every time I've gone there, I think I've been to Texas 5 or 6 times in my life, and I am XO in getting sick.
Yep.
Just lock it up. Houston is the sickest I've ever gotten at a Magic tournament, where I had to wear a towel over my head for the duration of the tournament.
And I've seen you under the weather at some Magic tournaments in a pretty bad way.
Not pretty. I had to, it was Grand Prix Houston circa 2011, I think. And the one Adam Yurchik won. And I had to decline a feature match. I was so sick. Just no. I don't want anyone to see me like this.
And for someone who enjoys the limelight as much as yourself,
come
that's a
on.
huge,
Get outta
I mean,
here.
that's a huge deal.
I beat Paulo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got him.
Get him. It's like Stefan on 5 cards here, which is really tough for his deck because it's all about 1-for-1 trades. Even 2-for-1's itself a fair bit trying to lock the opponent out of resources. But keep in mind, with Toxic Deluge, Perish, Pernicious Deed, he's got a couple cards that could make up a lot of lost card advantage.
It does it on its own. Parrish could be a who knows how many for one.
Yeah.
It's silly to even think about.
Even that game, which I'm sure Lane felt he had locked up, it was not impossible for 7 to win if he ripped his Perish.
Some people clamoring for a Caribou token here on Twitter.
I can get behind a Caribou token.
I agree.
I think it only goes with Caribou Range from Ice Age, if I'm not mistaken.
Look at you.
Fairly narrow card.
It's value in a passing of the turn.
I could be wrong. It might synergize with some other stuff, but I think it's just Caribou Range.
Here's a Green Sun's Ant. That's going to be for 0, so it's time to search up a Dryad Arbor. There are a couple Reindeer-esque cards. Graceful Antelope.
Yep,
I think that one has Planeswalk.
that sounds right.
Yeah. So graceful.
Ice Age had a bit of a Caribou, Antelope, other, snow creature kind of theme going on.
I'd like a tribe of reindeer to run rampant. There's a Wasteland. See you later, Dryad Arbor.
Stefan with a bit of a flourish as he wastelanded his opponent's Dryad Arbor there.
Thomason, quite a few lands over there. Here's a Savannah. That's for the rest in peace in his sideboard. That's just an Elvish Visionary. Oddly enough, one of the better cards in this matchup since it says draw a card.
And it's a creature that he can sacrifice to ease effects.
Surgical Extraction to draw.
That's why I kind of alluded to before. I feel like Stefan needed to get away from this element of his deck. Doesn't make a lot of sense when he has so much redundant removal. And there's not one real key piece of Surgical Extraction away.
Thomason going to draw a card. Here's a Surgical Extraction on the Dryad Arbor.
Got one.
Did he actually get one?
Yeah, he got one.
Oh my gosh.
Got him.
So there is the extraction. He's going to pay a black mana to cast it. Yeah, now the hand's got to go up. There's a Glimpse, a Natural Order, a Glimpse. That'll send a Sentinel and a Dryad Arbor. So see ya.
Bang.
That hand is, it's a little conflicted. I mean, if it has a Heritage Druid, it's insane.
Yes.
But he did get a Dryad Arbor with the Surgical.
And Stefan just going to take a gander, see if there's anything he should be aware of in the deck.
Any Spice? Doesn't look like there's any Spice.
Yeah, this hand is a Cradle or a Heritage Druid short of being incredible. as it stands, mana will be an issue. And he is liable to get killed by any sweeper Stefan finds.
So Lane will shuffle up here. He's ready to rock and roll. He's got 3 pair in his hand. The deadly poker hand. That's a good time for a glimpse. There's a Nettle Sentinel.
Pretty
Draw a
risky
card.
glimpse. I mean, he can dead end pretty easily. I guess he might as well cast it.
I'm fine with casting that one because he has a second one.
Yeah.
So.
I guess he has to respect the possibility of Cabal Therapy too. Yep. So I guess it's fine to just cast one of them.
And if he draws a land, he gets to play another Nettle Sentinel. And then, it's kind of who knows what happens there. Look at a great look at the draw step. It looks like it may have been a copy of Toxic Deluge, though. Yep.
Yep. Be patient, Stefan. You will get him eventually.
There's a Wasteland. No patience.
Okay.
Oh, no. Yep, now you probably got to cast it now. I actually kind of like this, and here's the reason why. He has Dark Depths in his hand.
Oh, okay. And
So
he knows
this-
he just knows about natural order too. So
Yeah, so this turn is just cleared out. Next turn, play my Dark Depths, hope I win.
Yeah,
I'm all for that. Here's a Bursal Ranger, because Thomason has to spend a turn here rebuilding, which he'll do.
Yeah, this is a really nice play from Stefan.
Yep.
Yeah, he can just go for the win.
Here's another creature there in Quirion Ranger, and untap that Nettle Sentinel, pass the turn back. Now Gimmillar will draw a card. Slam down that Dark Depths, my friend.
Do it.
His hand's Abrupt Decay and Liliana. I just don't really care about those cards.
Well, he also can't cast them, so
That's true, too.
The die is cast. Like,
Yes.
this is what his hand allows him to do.
You make a very compelling argument.
So do it.
Yep, right now, 2020, do your worst. It worked the first game. Why can't it work this one?
And Stefan, just shrugs his shoulders and says, all right, show me what you're working with.
Pretty much. Couldn't kill him last time.
And it's hard to kill.
It's time to get creative. There's a green mana.
Well, keep in mind, he can natural order for Rorthor and get 1 chump block.
Yep. There's Glimpse. Gonna untap the Nettle Sentinel. Green mana. Birchlow Ranger comes in. Cantrip. Draw. What's next? Elvish Mystic. Untap Nettle Sentinel. Draw. Are we roadblocked? I think it's Crater of Behemoth, 2 natural orders.
Yep.
I think we are roadblocked. Quirion Ranger hasn't been activated yet this turn.
And Lane fairly lucky there that he didn't draw the Rorthor, because that adds quite a bit of complexity here, since he probably has a natural order for a 2 chump block in the event that he can't win this turn.
Yep. I think he's trying to figure out if there's any way he can get Rorthor into play so he can chump block and live for another turn.
Well, it's not just getting Rorthor into play, it's then having enough left over to do something the next turn.
Of course, of course. Well, we're going to activate here. Untap somebody. That Quirion Ranger, of course, is tapped. There's Savannah. This is natural order. So he's going to cast that. That's going to untap there. Go searching. I think I'm with you. I think it's Rorthor, assuming it's still in the stack.
Yeah.
It's a Rorthor chump block party.
Well, again, he can't gain life or kill it. So if the Rorthor's out in his deck, he's just dead unless he can cobble together a kill with Crater Hoof.
Now, what's really interesting is, this feels kind of silly to say, if Lane knows that Rorthor has reach, because that's not something everyone knows.
It doesn't come up very often.
Yeah, that's not really a thing that really comes up all that much. You think of that as a combo hoser first and foremost, and then a 6/6 attacker that has vigilance. So he's kind of scanning through his deck to figure out what to natural order for. And see, now he's brought Elvish Mystic forward.
And I think if he's getting Elvish Mystic here, this is the white flag. Because I don't think he can win through a 20/20 blocker.
Yep. Looks like he might go with Visionary too.
I mean, from where I'm sitting, it's Rorthar or bust. That's the only thing that gives him a shot to win the game next turn. He doesn't have that.
There's a Wirewood. Yeah, he's looking at Creative Behemoth now.
But yeah, I feel like, you know, the Merit Lage token just absorbs so much.
So much damage, yeah, since it's a 20/20. You can't trample through that thing, let alone kill it. Yeah, if he gets a Wirewood here, he doesn't really get to go further.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
So we'll see what the plan is here. Remember, he still has a glimpse floating around in all this.
Yeah. Oh, he just can't generate very much mana.
Exactly. I just feel like he's hit a roadblock here.
So it's going to return this. That'll untap that. Birchlore Ranger mana. There's the Mystic. Untap there. Draw a card. Elvish Mystic. Oh, excuse me. Elvish Visionary was the draw. I think it's still stuck.
Yep.
Unfortunately for him, those green cards aren't going to change, so he's just going to pass the turn back. And
does Stefan see it? Yes.
He saw it game one. He sees it this one. That is going to do it. Lone Pox wins this match off of the back of Dark Depths, taking down combo elves, moving on to 5-1 here in our Legacy Open. And for Stefan, if he does win his next match, might be able to draw to the top 8.
I've not seen this dimension out of the deck before, and it seems like a huge upgrade to have access to the Dark Depths kill, because you want to be playing Loam anyway. You want to be locking Wastelands in the matchup where that's appropriate. And the deck has a difficult time killing. And, you know, you see in that game, Stefan, I don't think, could win game 1 or game 3. But